Now, from what we've seen so far, it was a nice little change of pace to do a small OVA, cutting away to Eris and her day, killing goblins and meeting a few more denizens of the world. The power struggle for a new pope or something. Chosen kids and the like. But now we're whisked back into the main story with Rudius and the reuniting with his father. Going a lot better the second time all round. You know, first impressions might not have been the best. Once you take down the wall a little. Just some hurt people after a long time apart. I think that's kind of exactly what they needed in this instance, wasn't it? A cathartic release after so many months of just not knowing. But of course, we can't stay still in one location too long. There are others out there still. She sees a rabbit dart across the path. Ooh, lunch. Okay, Rodriguez. I don't think that Rodriguez is going to be really faring all too well. He did better than I thought. He's so upbeat about it. Well, at least he's alright with it. It's another never-ending stream of idiots. But they're popping out of the ground, are they? And she's still, yep. A good thing in this kind of weather, there's a lot of water to wash it all down. Unfortunately, on this occasion, he's caught it as well. The old seasickness. Just will yourself to not be sick. But yeah, having people who are immune to the ills of like travel motion sickness is something that you don't really want to experience. Major rice producer, you say? For one, like one of Rudius's history, of course he'd be interested in rice. Well, she almost managed to get a full sentence out. Is he getting affected by the seasickness now because of his extra eye? Has he learnt to like turn it off? Out of all of them, I'm probably least worried about Ghislaine. But So you were hoping to catch up, even though she went on a little journey as well. Seeing a night sky like that would be something. But even so, you wouldn't have wanted to see them dead. But who would have thought that Roxy and him were acquainted? Has she mellowed a little? And the events over the past year or so might have caused anyone to be a bit more mature. Being able to look back on yourself and your own personal growth. King class. And who could cast not only chant this magic, but possibly even teach it? So he hasn't really learned much of a lesson. You would have thought he might be playing it a bit more careful. Ah, there we go. That was 2 years ago? A name that draws fear. There's some massive levels of like PTSD or something there. Just in the way that she's playing with those peanuts. That wasn't the idea of what we got when we actually met some of the people from our old village. But what has she gone through to make her think that? I don't believe it, but okay. But it doesn't stop him from loving his kids. So that's the same. Yep, that's the same. What should be the same with what her parents are. And for the only one to not be able to use telepathy. Did we know this, or is this new information? No one's really come out to greet her, or even working in the fields. But it's good that she decided to at least visit. It's not going horribly. because everyone can talk through telepathy. So when anyone tries to contact her, that's what she hears. There's a boundary. It's not that she can't do telepathy. It's I guess, yeah, the feeling of alienation and isolation. I guess laughter is one thing that you don't have to do through telepathy. And apparently everyone has a version of hopscotch. No matter what kind of fantasy world you're in. Evidence that... Is this young Roxy? Yeah. Evidence that she was there. Quite the artist. Well, she immediately ran over to help straight away, so whether or not she can communicate as such. Yeah, you can imagine what they're saying, but the silence in return. And they keep trying, so it's not like they're meaning to exclude her from anything. Maybe not understand that she has some sort of disability in terms of being able to actually communicate. An immediate response of that's how they act towards her, so it's exactly like what was the guy's name? Horse dude. Noko Paro. It's exactly as they said, the parents still love the kid, even if she's not exactly thrilled to be here. I see. An extra reason. It's not. Has she told anyone that that's what she hears when they actually talk in her vicinity? If she's not being directly spoken to. Can't leave it be like that. Well, once every 2 decades might be possible. Oh, it's a promise. Once every half century. But how difficult it is for them. No matter how awful the experience might be for her, just imagine how it is for the parents. Just being in the village is torture for her. Close enough. And having to raise a child that is, air quotes, different. Oh god, it's worse. There's so many extra tones back there. How would you explain it? How exactly would you explain that to a child? People with learning difficulties or speaking issues, forms of autism or anything is one thing, but no matter how bad she feels being the outcast of everywhere, she didn't want to be separated from her parents. And now the things are a little more out there. See? You can't leave him out. Kind of like the reunion with Paul and Rudy. I like that. That reunion was bittersweet. Lighting a fire. How long has she been asleep for now? Good morning. Now that she let go of all of that excess pain and stress. Yeah, this time it's less of a just wanting to get out as fast as possible, but an actual urgent mission to save people, potentially. What could his name be? And met with the parents. There we go. You wouldn't have known that if she didn't stop in. Spurred? Roxy is exactly the kind of reaction that we've been told people have to spurts. I mean, they're still around, they're still happy, they're still alive, so obviously it couldn't have gone that badly, Roxy. Yeah, they'll visit together. Ah, I see. A very protective father, and obviously a good head on his shoulders if he doesn't want Rudius anywhere near. Out of everyone in the world, Rudy, with what she knows about him, having a spurred walking around with him, is probably the most believable person out of anyone. Yep. No one would have been that stupid or foolhardy, except... Oh, for God. I mean, she could have knocked. And the fact that she's not even fazed by it now, just... Yeah. Wow. That icicle got to me. I got a shiver down my spine. There's no brakes on that train, is there? Yeah, there's still half the family missing. Hopefully at least some of them... Well, I say some of them, there's only 3. At least the kid is with one of them. But the issue is, not only do you have to check villages and the like, you kind of have to check everything in between. Obviously, now it's been a few years. It's a little less likely that you'll just run into people in the middle of, like, some random cave somewhere, but you can't ignore that possibility. And with Roxy now being told that Rudy kind of began his journey up near her hometown, stopped in, caused a bit of trouble in the... Nope, can't remember the name of the stone town, the one that was almost wiped off the map due to an angry Rudy. With the reunion of Paul and Rudy, you've got a separation by some unnatural disaster. That's one set of feelings, but having a child vanish from your home, there's nothing to lead your understanding as to what happened, really. Like, manor explosion, people missing, okay, that I can wrap my head around what's going on. But the kind of just unknowing, just up and dipped one night, that must have been incredibly tough for them. And I think with the onslaught of tears, it really just proved it. But with seeing Roxy's past, kind of growing up, being a bit sheltered by her parents, because they could kind of tell what would happen, and it went down, and I think pretty much exactly as they had feared. The other kids trying to communicate, trying to be friendly and play along, obviously not going to understand anyone's issues immediately. And what could be the stem of her inability to use telepathy? Is it a genetic thing? Is it just some misfiring of neurons? Is the telepathy itself inherent, or some just subconscious magic being cast across them? So many questions I don't think we're going to get an answer to right now. There might be more in the source material, or additional things. If it's no spoiler, and if it's not going to be explored further on, maybe let me know. I'm kind of curious. Otherwise, let it come about naturally. But for now, seeing a recap of areas past visited, Nokopada, whatever his name was, recanting the tale of, I'm good now, I've stopped being a complete jackass. In fact, some little dude and his pet Spurd. But for Roxy to now know that, at least a few years ago, Rudy was okay, passing through villages, causing a bit of a commotion, she can at least relax on looking out for him. But man, Lilia, the maid, and her daughter, if they had been kicked out of the house, when Paul's infidelity was discovered, would anyone be out searching for them? Would she even be still alive? Good thing we don't really have to worry about that one. We just have to worry about whether or not she's still alive. And since we're barreling down on the end of the season with a fair few episodes left, but also not that many, what will we come across by the end of it? Any more tragedy? Or much like several of the little moments here, some nice reuniting? And of course, not just immediate family, Sylphie. When we initially met the character, wasn't going great for her. Maybe things have really changed. You have to find out. So if you enjoyed this one, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. All the YouTube goodness, as everyone's told you 100 times before. Maybe even check out my Discord. For now, though, get yourself some rest. See you in the next one.